It's Wednesday, Klaus here. It's time for another basic Davinci Resolve tutorial.
Hello, Klaus here. It's Wednesday and time for yet another basic Davinci Resolve tutorial. In this video, we're going to have a relook at how to do green screen inside of Davinci Resolve after the new update 17.4. And there are some changes and some new stuff, so let's have a look into that. So first off, if you don't know which version you are in Davinci Resolve, or you want to check if there is an update, you can go up here to the Resolve tab up here, click on that and go to check for updates. Davinci Resolve is now going to tell me that I am currently on version Davinci Resolve Studio 7.4.1, and that's totally fine. That is the newest version I'm on. So let's quickly just run through the green screen in Davinci Resolve. Again, in Davinci Resolve, you can make green screen in 3 different ways. You can do it in the edit page, you can do it in the color page, and of course you can do it in Fusion. However, after the new update, there's no change in how you do it in Fusion, as well as I am aware of. And I also prefer to do it either in the edit page or in the color page. In fact, I would prefer to do it in the color page before this update, but after this update, I'm not so sure. So let's jump right into it. So again, I have a green screen clip here of me in front of a cheap green screen and a background. Okay, that's good enough. So let's jump up to our effects. We'll go into the open effects and we're going to search for a key. And here we have the 3D key. I'm going to add that to my top clip. Then I'll go to the inspector and I'm going to go over here underneath and make sure that this is set to open effects overlay. And then I'm just going to toggle off my effects. And we are already now in the keyer itself. This is the 3D keyer. And if we just take a quick look at the basic stuff, we have some new things. We have a new D-spill, which in the old version were a checkbox. Now it's not. And also we have some color space stuff we can change around. We have some different options, some adjustments, some matte finesse and some garbage matte, and that's basically it. But we also have this feature, and I think this is very lovely, because as soon as we draw a line here, we can actually see how our key is, and it's going to show us exactly what we are keying out. This is one of the new features. It's again a super easy way to see what we're doing. So if we just let go, we've now keyed out the background, and I think that should be good. It's hard to see if there is any green D-spill, in fact, so we might as well go in and zoom a little bit in here so we can see if we need to put in some D-spill. I can see there is some here and here. So I'll go into the D-spill and I'm going to bump this up until my green cast will disappear. Of course, if this are getting too harsh, we could go into the key adjustments and change around, for instance, the tint and shift in the chroma colors, as you see right here. That we are not going to toggle too much with, but you know, we can adjust our settings so it will be a little better. I think I'll keep it like that and go into the D-spill again. Also, we could go into our matte finesse, and here we have a bunch of options again to go in and clean the blacks, for instance, which we are doing here. Cleaning the white, we're not going to do. I'm going to bump up the black a little bit more, and then we can again go into black clip. We have white clip, and then we could change the blur radius and stuff like that. We could do that a little bit, something like that. So in general, we have a decent key, I would say, out of this old piece of footage. So what we need to add in now would be a garbage mat. In this case, I'm just going to do a rectangle. However, as we might see now, this doesn't look good because we need to invert our selection. And I'm also going to make it something like that. Should be good enough. And then we could change around the mask here again, and do a little bit more of a finesse. We also have some soft edges, so we could make the edges more soft or less. So it's all according to what you think is best. So I think this is already a pretty nice thing. So I'm going to jump over again here, and I want to do a little bit of animation in my clip here. So I'm going to select my top clip. I'll go back to the video, and here is where we have the first little problem with Davinci Resolve new update, because as soon as I want, for instance, let's say I want to be a little further back, so I'm going to zoom this in, and this is not what we want. We don't want the black bars. I think this is a little annoying bug in Davinci Resolve. Hopefully Blackmagic will fix this in the next update. However, there's a fix to actually fixing this. So I'm just going to Control C this. And the way to fix this issue is actually just to right click on your green screen clip and make a new compound clip. And that's going to be just fine. So you see, if I zoom now, the bars has disappeared, and I can, for instance, make myself a little bit smaller. I'm just going to toggle this on here, and going to put myself right here. So we'll do a quick animation. I'm going to put myself over here, and in the positions, I'm just going to put in a keyframe, and then I'll go to the end of the clip here, and I'm just going to move myself past the screen. So lovely it is. So here we have me walking in the forest. It looks like it's cold. It would be great if there was snow there. We can add this in later, of course. However, let's jump to the other way of doing things here. In this case, I'm going to show you the green screen options in the color page. So let's just jump over to the color page. And here we have the clip, as we would expect. And the way we would do it in here is we would go to the qualifiers. And if you've been using Davinci Resolve before the new update, you would see that a lot of the icons are changed and they look a little bit different. Also, they have been placed different places, so it's going to take you a while to get used to, but it's like this when they mess around with the icons and stuff like that. So anyway, I have my qualifier. I'm going to take my 3D color, and I know that this is right here, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. Going to make a pretty decent key. I can make a little more over here, I think, something like that. And if I look here at my node, I can see my selection, and in this case I need to invert it yet again. And that button has been moved, so now it's right over here instead. So I'm just going to toggle that, and if I click over here, I can see my selection, how that is looking fine, I think. In this case, I'm also going to do a garbage mat, so I'm going over to the masks here. I'm just going to take a curves mask. I'm just going to do a shape around myself here, something like that. That should be okay, I think. So what we need to do now in Davinci Resolve is, of course, to add in an alpha out. You do that by right-clicking over here, and I'm going to add an alpha out, this blue icon you see right here. I actually hope that Blackmagic would update this so this would be here all the time, so we didn't have to add it in every time we wanted to use an alpha channel. I just think it would be nice to just drag here and connect instead of all the right-clicking, but hey, That's just me. And again, we could do something with the softness here of the mask we did. I think that should be good enough for this little thing. So we'll go back here to the editing page, and we're going to take our clip here yet again. And you see, if we zoom in, we're going to have the exact same problem as we had before. Also, since I did the mask, I can see I have some problems right here. So I'll go back into the color page. I'll go up to the qualifier. And in this case, I'm going to add in the despill. And it's up here, and it works the same way as the other. If that doesn't help, and we can't take it out well enough, we need to go into our clean blacks here. And we can take some of it off, at least this way. Something like that. And in general, I think this is good enough for jazz. So I'm just going to take this off and jump back into the edit page, and I'll do a quick little animation yet again. Remember, if I zoom or do anything to my image, it's going to give you the black bars. And again, if you just make that into a compound clip, your top layer with your green screen, it's going to be all fine and dandy. Again, let's do a super quick animation with me yet again. I'm going to put in a keyframe, go to the end, and I'll be walking here. So there we have that. Walking in the snow. Lovely, isn't it? It would be very lovely if we actually added snow in, and that can of course be done super easy. If we have a snow overlay, we're going to put that on top of our clip here. And I'm just going to push B and do a cut and remove the rest because I don't need it. Going to select my top layer here, and then I'm going to go over to the inspector into the composite mode. And by the way, a new feature is also you can preview your composite modes, which I think is pretty darn nice. However, in this case, we only need to use add to add in the snow. And with that, again, out of the way, we have this result. And by the way, if you're interested in the snow I'm using for this particular thing, then you have to check out Rocket Rooster's snow pack. There's a link for that down in the description below. Or if you just need snow in general, you can check out my free pack. Again, link down in the description. So now we have this little cold scene here. Lovely indeed. If we wanted to make this just a tad better, we could just, highlight both of our clip, right click, and then just do a new compound clip. So they'll be together as one, and then we could go into the color page, select our compound clip right here, go into the color grade, and just play around with the temperature and make it a little more blue, a little more cold. That's what we could do. Anyway, I do hope you found this little video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out, and if you want to be notified every time there's a new video on this channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner. Until next time, keep filming, keep learning, and keep sharing.